Hi, fourth graders. So today we are going to start reading Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. This is one of my favorite stories to begin fourth grade. It's cute, it's short, it's sweet, it's a little funny, and it has something a lot of us can relate to, and that's a somewhat annoying, often pestering younger sibling. Or maybe you're the younger sibling that enjoys doing the pestering. Either way, this is one of my favorites. So today, for your reading assignment, I asked you to listen to chapter 1. So that's what we're going to start with today. So this is Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. This is written by Judy Blume. And chapter 1 is called The Big Winner. I won dribble at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. All the other guys got to take home goldfish and little plastic bags. I won him because I guessed there were 348 jelly beans in Mrs. Fargo's jar. Really, there were 423, she told us later. Still, my guess was closest. Peter Warren Hatcher is the biggest winner, Ms. Fargo announced. So we know our main character then would be Peter Warren Hatcher, who is telling the story. At first, I felt bad that I didn't get a goldfish, too. Then Jimmy handed me a glass bowl. Inside was some water and 3 rocks. A tiny green turtle was sleeping on the biggest rock. All the other guys looked at their goldfish. I knew what they were thinking. They wished they could have tiny green turtles, too. I named my turtle Dribble while I was walking home from Jimmy's party. I live at 25 West 68th Street. It's an old apartment building, but it's got one of the best elevators in New York City. So we've discovered 2 more things. We've discovered his turtle is named Dribble, and the setting of our story, New York City. There are mirrors all around in the elevator. You can see yourself from every angle. There's a soft, cushioned bench to sit on if you're tired and don't feel like standing. The elevator's operator is named Henry Bevelheimer. He lets us call him Henry because Bevelheimer is very hard to say. Our apartment's on the 12th floor, but I don't have to tell Henry. He already knows. He knows everybody in the building. He's that smart. He even knows I'm 9 and in 4th grade. I showed him Dribble right away. I won him at a birthday party, I said. Henry smiled. Your mother's going to be surprised. Can you imagine coming home from a birthday party with a turtle? Would Mom be happy? Mad? Nervous? Well, Henry was right. My mother was really surprised. Her mouth opened when I said, Look at what I won at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. I held up my tiny green turtle. I've already named him Dribble. Isn't that a great name for a turtle? My mother made a face. I don't like the way he smells, she said. What do you mean? I asked. I put my nose right down close to him. I didn't smell anything but turtle. So Dribble smells like a turtle, I thought. Well, he's supposed to. That's what he is, a turtle. And I'm not going to take care of him either, my mother added. Of course not, I told her. He's my turtle, and I'm the one who's going to take care of him. You're going to change his water and clean out his bowl and feed him and all of that, she asked. Yes, I said, and even more, I'm going to see to it that he's happy. This time my mother made a funny noise, kind of like a groan. I went into my bedroom. I put Dribble on top of my dresser. I tried to pet him and tell him he would be happy living with me, But it isn't easy to pet a turtle. They aren't soft and furry, and they don't lick you or anything. Still, I had my very own pet at last. Later, when I sat down at the dinner table, my mother said, "I smell turtle. Peter, go and scrub your hands." Some people might think that my mother is my biggest problem. She doesn't like turtles, and she's always telling me to scrub my hands. That doesn't mean just run them under the water. Scrub means I'm supposed to use soap and rub my hands together. Then I've got to rinse and dry them. I ought to know by now. I've heard it enough. But my mother isn't my biggest problem. Neither is my father. He spends a lot of time watching commercials on TV. That's because he's in the advertising business. These days, his favorite commercial is the one about Juicio. He wrote it himself. And the president of the Juicio company liked it so much, he sent my father a whole crate of Juicio for our family to drink. It tastes like a combination of oranges, pineapples, grapefruits, pears, and bananas. And if you really want to know the truth, I'm getting pretty sick of drinking it. But Juicio isn't my biggest problem either. My biggest problem is my brother, Farley Drexel Hatcher. He's 2.5 years old. Everybody calls him Fudge. I feel sorry for him if he's going to grow up with a name like Fudge, but I don't say a word. It's none of my business. Fudge is always in my way. He messes up everything he sees. And when he gets mad, he throws himself flat on the floor and screams. And he kicks. And he bangs his fists. The only time I really like him is when he's sleeping. He sucks 4 fingers on his left hand and makes a slurping noise. When Fudge saw Dribble, he said, "Oh, see!" And I said, "That's my turtle. Get it? Mine. You don't touch him." Fudge said, "No touch." Then he laughed like crazy. That's chapter 1. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Are you intrigued? Can you relate to Fudge and Peter and their very awkward relationship or their pained relationship? Do you have a younger brother or sister that's always getting into your stuff? Well, if you do, you might be able to relate to Peter as we read more through the story and find out why he feels like a nothing and see how much trouble Fudge causes for him. I look forward to reading with you more on Monday. On Monday, we'll talk a little bit more about what was read in chapter 1. I'll have some questions for you to answer, and we will read chapter 2 and maybe even chapter 3. Have a great weekend.